Economists have been grappling to explain the reason why there is such a big divide in wealth between colder and warmer countries. However, the link between temperature and economic prosperity is undeniable. Europeans and North Americans suffer through bitterly cold winters, but reap the benefits of living in one of the world's richest regions. Northern Asian countries also have higher economic output than nations in Asia's south. By contrast, places like Indonesia, Vietnam, and Brazil, where residents enjoy toasty temperatures throughout the year, are much poorer. A research by economists at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology examined the economic puzzle that dates back hundreds of years. Why do the poorer economies of the world tend to be in hot places, while the more successful economies are found in cooler climates? The French writer Montesquieu wondered about it in the 1700s. Many researchers have written this off as a historical accident, perhaps a legacy of colonism. Now, there is significantly more data to work with. Ben Olken, an associate professor of economics at MIT, and his colleagues wanted to examine the temperature connection more closely. They decided that instead of comparing one country to another, they would look within countries. Did a hot year mean slower economic growth? The answer could be yes. They found that for poor countries, an increase in annual average temperature by 1 degree centigrade corresponded to a 1.1% drop in per capita gross domestic product. It's a huge effect, Olken says. The difference between a country that's in recession and one that is buzzing along amounts to a 3% shift in GDP. So, 1 degree explaining a 1.1% shift is a huge effect of temperature. The results suggest that global warming could increase the gap between rich and poor. There are also other reasons for this predicament, the main reason being water in cold climates. One thing has dominated human development above all other things through the centuries, and that is water. Coastline, rivers, and canals have played a vital role in the development of human civilization. It is not without reason that all great civilizations rose around massive rivers, nor is it an accident that almost all large cities are located next to a major river or next to a coastline. Large rivers in hot climates flood a lot, which is great for agriculture. However, with respect to actual transport, such as transporting coal, iron ore, timber, or bulk quantities of industrial goods, they are terrible. The water flow of rivers in hotter climates can grow or shrink 80 times through the year. That is because in hot climates, you find rain seasons with massive rainfall. In such areas, flooding is extremely destructive. It is not without reason that the story about the destruction of the world and Noah's Ark is about a flood in the Middle East. This is where northern countries have a big advantage. In countries like the Netherlands and Britain, rainfall is quite constant and moderate. This keeps water levels in rivers and dug canals quite constant. Hence, both the English and Dutch could use rivers and canals to transport a lot of goods. In fact, all of Europe has lots of rivers and canals, which make it superior for transport. Africa and the Middle East, in contrast, are terrible for water-based transportation. Too little coastline relative to landmass, and too few rivers, and those that do exist are prone to flooding. This means European cities could engage in mass production because bulk quantities of mass-produced goods could easily be transported. But more importantly, for early industrialization, coal and iron ore from mines could be cheaply shipped along canals and rivers to major cities cheaply. This paves way for our next reason: water power. You cannot build water wheel effectively in hot climates due to the massive variation in water flow. In places like northern France and Britain, you can build water wheels that work year-round. These could in turn power industrial machines. Prior to the Industrial Revolution, this was how factories developed. They developed where there was water power. Such development was never really possible in hot climates. Another issue related to water is tropical diseases. Hot climates had another big problem, which the Dutch discovered when they tried to dig canals in hot climates. The Dutch figured stale water became a breeding ground for mosquitoes, which got the Dutch affected with numerous fatal tropical diseases. This is a major benefit of cold climates. Humans can put on clothes to survive, but a lot of nasty bugs and microorganisms simply die. Colder climates thus get less diseases to deal with. Another reason for colder climate locations to become richer is thermodynamics. Stir quickly around in water and it will become hotter. Work invariably generates heat, and hence when humans work, we produce heat. We have to get rid of this heat or we die. If we can't, we have to simply slow down or take a break. Here is a major advantage for cold climates. Being cold is relatively easy to solve. Just put on clothes, burn wood, or set up a house. Until humans got air conditioning, there was no simple way of getting rid of heat. Hence, humans in hot climates had severe limits on how hard or much they could work. It is not without reason that siestas is a thing in Southern Europe. Whatever the cause, there are some countries that buck the trend. Singapore is just about on the equator and has a strong economy. Researchers say the great hope of global trade is that countries can adapt to whatever makes sense in their part of the world. With time, they can overcome climate, even history. Do you have any other theory on this topic? Do share your views in the comment section below.